Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, we've got to go back and talk about Iran. I know I did a video earlier. And earlier the reports were 40 were hurt. Then 2 hours later or so they said 60 are hurt. And now they are saying 250 people are hurt. And they don't know how many are injured or dead. Because there's been 9 earthquakes today in Iran. Folks, grab a Bible. You'll need to go to Jeremiah 49. But first, listen to what's happened. There was a 6.2 earthquake that hit Iran and early this morning. After that quake, actually 1 hour and a half later, a 4.7 earthquake hit Iran. Half hour later, a 4.5 hit Iran. 45 minutes later, a 4.9 earthquake hit Iran. 16 minutes later, a 4.7 hit Iran. Now, I realize those could all be aftershocks from the 6.3, 6.2 earthquake, let's say. But then, 16 minutes later, a 5.6 earthquake hits Iran. And then that was followed 7 minutes later with a 4.9 earthquake hitting Iran, followed by what looks like 4 minutes later a 5.2. So it goes back up, another earthquake, and then that is followed 30 minutes later, just had a 5.8 earthquake has hit Iran. They've had 9 earthquakes this morning before you had your first cup of coffee. Are you serious? We know 250 people are injured. We don't know how many more are injured, nor do we know how many are dead, because these earthquakes are just literally shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking the earth, destabilizing the region. Now, it's near the Iraqi border that these earthquakes are happening, but we have a prophecy. If you'll go with me to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. Now, I realize I go here to talk about the destruction of Damascus, same chapter, and that is Jeremiah 49, 23 through 27, talks about the destruction of Damascus. And we are seeing that entire situation develop every day. But go on down to verse 34 and listen to what the word of the Lord said would happen to Elam, or Iran, or Persia, whichever you want to call it. It's all the same. But and this is a last days prophecy. Listen to this. In verse 34, the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah, the prophet, against Elam, or Iran, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. Now that's their nuclear power or their weapon. And upon Elam will I bring the 4 winds from the 4 quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither the outcast of Elam shall not come. Get this, verse 37, For I will cause Elam, or Iran, to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life. And I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord. And I will send the sword after them, till I have consumed them. Now this is a prophecy that has not yet been fulfilled. Listen, verse 38, And I will set my throne in Elam, or Iran, and will destroy from thence the king and the prince, saith the Lord. So if you're the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, or if you're the new president, Hassan Rouhani, you need to be very careful, gentlemen, about blaspheming God and threatening the extinction of Israel. Because listen to the next verse. But it shall come to pass in the latter days, that's now, that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, saith the Lord. A lot of times people don't understand. Whatever's going on in the spiritual world manifests in the physical. And so this morning, pray for the people of Iran. Pray for them. The innocent civilians and the folks that are living there. but they're paying a price because of the wickedness, leadership, and the constant threats to annihilate Israel. Matter of fact, over the weekend, they tried a major cyber attack on Israel, and it failed. And what happened? They've been hit with 9 earthquakes this morning. Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. I want to thank Timothy Duke of Marion, Indiana. He also says, sent me an email earlier this morning before I went back to these scriptures, and in the same chapter, and he talks in Jeremiah 49 verse 2, Therefore behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Amorites, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burned with fire. Then shall Israel be heir unto them that were his heirs, saith the Lord. So this nuclear threat and cyber attacks by Iran or Elam is bringing upon them the prophecies of the prophet Jeremiah. I'll be right back with more current world events. Boy, it's going to be a powerful broadcast today. Don't miss it at 12 noon Eastern for 3 hours of Bible prophecy. Current world events. We'll be covering, of course, the riots down in Ferguson, Missouri, the earthquakes in Iran, the war in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas, and the absolute massacring that ISIS is doing to the Christians and the Iraqi civilians in the Middle East, and a lot of other things as well. Yellowstone as well. Wow. Are you serious? Are you saved? Are you saved? Please give Jesus your heart.